Oh, let's see. Second video tonight, and again, apologise for the forward video. Yeah, I know you hear it over and over again. Blah, blah. So, greetings from the UK. This is a video response for Dylan Harrison, who's doing his 85 subscribers contest. Congratulations, Dylan. I must admit I am quite new to your channel. I think I found it through Will Mod Central when I was also looking at his contest he was running, and I think he'd obviously replied or put a message on your channel, so I had a look. So again, like Will's, I did a recent, I seen your video a while ago. I've just been getting around to actually doing the videos, so I did a list a week or so ago, a couple of years, sorry, but 2 years I've gone for my sort of school years, college, sort of that. I'm in the UK, so it would have been GCSE, kind of A level, advanced education kind of level. 1991 and 1994, just because of the sheer quality of some of the albums that came out in those years. So I've got a few albums together, as you like, to just doing. I've done a list, so I'll just try and name some of the big albums that are right in that kind of time. I mean, I know I may have missed some, but these are my personal reflections of what I've had recently. So in terms of what's that? I'll just see. Okay. So big albums for me. Most probably the biggest album, my first awakening to music. I never used to have this thing where I could pretty much listen to a whole album, or I was never this person that would get an album and listen to it and listen to it and listen to it. My focus never stayed there that long. I suppose this was the first album of a band where I went and bought the CD, knew what I was buying it for, and it was a big part of my life, which is, you know, a big thing, and I suppose most probably one of the biggest albums in this year as far as I'm concerned. But for 1991, U2, Acting Baby, and I know it was a big album for them as well, obviously a big change. They'd obviously done some very claimed work to start off with, and I think a lot of people seem to think they were drifting, and I think a lot of people see this as the album that brought them back from the brink. Some people think that this was the album where they changed and people stopped listening to them, but I would think this is most probably one of the best albums of all time, in my opinion. Just some of the songs that are on there, One, Fly, and it's one of those things that I just got it and listened to it over and over and over again. I had a friend who used to listen to two artists, U2 and The Cure, and he pretty much put me off both of those bands because that's all he ever had. But he had a little crappy unit, hi-fi unit, boombox. It was all on cassette, it was all a bit poorly recorded, and I do appreciate some of that music more now, but at the time I mostly hated it. But this, I suppose he was the reason I got this. But fantastic album, can't say enough about that, it's an amazing album. Another one from the same year, it's probably one of the most famous albums, so Nirvana, Nevermind, and obviously the main track that a lot of people have up here is a Smell Like Teen Spirit, but I think Come As You Are in Bloom Poly, Lithium, Breathe, all of it. They're absolutely fantastic albums. Another one where I could listen to it just non-stop. And I think it was a turning point for me with U2, where all of a sudden I could listen to an album and give it a chance rather than be all these 2 songs on that album I like. They're the only 2 songs I'll listen to, so the rest of the album and never give it a chance. I know I've come back to a few albums after, but I've realised I've gone, oh my god, actually there's some fantastic tracks on there. Another huge album from the time is got here, which is Metallica's Metallica Black Album. And obviously the track that used to get played to death off here was Enter Sandman. But The Unforgiven I know is fantastic. And my favourite track is most probably Nothing Else Matters. Especially on the Metallica S&M. If you've got that, Nothing Else Matters, fantastic. It's with the San Francisco Philharmonic Orchestra. Absolutely amazing concert all the way through. And another 2 albums that are key again. My friend, another friend had these, and it's the worst combination ever. But he listened to this band and Ace of Base. Now, if I ever hear I Saw the Sign or anything like that again, I may kill somebody. And the reason it's such a thing is because the other artist that used to play all the time was Guns N' Roses. So both these, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, both out in '91. Nothing quite like putting all your work into 1 year, is there? I suppose there's Appetite for Destruction afterwards. But yeah, so 2 fantastic albums from one band in 1 year. Shows how things have changed now. You can go 5 or 6 years without hearing anything from an artist. Some try and pump out as many albums in a year as possible just to keep the thing going. But couple of CDs now, 2 big bands growing up that I've had different experiences with. Pearl Jam 10, which has obviously got Alive on it, which is the anthem of this album. That's probably one of the anthems of Pearl Jam, and was an anthem of a generation, really. It's one of those tracks up there with Enter Sandman, Smells Like Teen Spirit, all those kind of tracks. It is a big track. Yet to get it on vinyl. I've got Vitalogy and Verses, which is a box set. Vitalogy was out in '94, which is my other year. And another big band of the time I was listening to U2 a lot. REM, Out of Time. Again, I'm still waiting for a few REM bits. Got Monster, which is probably my favourite REM album, just because of when I was listening to it. Automatic for People, very good and everything, but Monster is my favourite. But Out of Time, Losing My Religion's on here, Shiny Happy People, Radio Song, and It's Half a World Away. Most probably the Losing My Religion is most probably there. The Shiny Happy People was a massive hit, which I think is obviously the lady from B-52s as well. I do believe, unless I just made that up. But yeah, I think the main things I got down for '91 was Nirvana, Nevermind, Pearl Jam 10, REM At Time, Action Baby, Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion Album 1 and 2, Metallica, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, Massive Attack did Blue Lines in there, Primal Scream released Screamadelica, and Blur came on the scene with Leisure, so sort of started the Britpop in between there and my next year. It's quite big for Britpop, things like that. So right, 94. So if I look at 94, again something I have had on vinyl before but sold it. Most probably one of my favourite albums ever. Oasis, definitely maybe. Again, it's a faultless album. A lot of people criticise What's the Story, Morning Glory, because they thought they were moving away from what this album was, and they did. They changed, but I mean, this is still fantastic. What's the Story, Morning Glory is a fantastic album as well, but I don't think there's a bad song on here. Supersonic I love, Cigarettes and Alcohol I think is great, but my favourite song is Slide Away. Absolutely fantastic. But Shaker Maker is obviously very good as well, but you know, again, this is 11 tracks of hits basically. Could be a great hits if they only ever did one album and it was all on their own. It is that good. They're all good. They're all great. They're fantastic. Did I say I love this album? There you go. Right, and the list of everything I've got, I think I picked this out because there was a lot of very good, but I would say one of my next favourite albums of the year was Prodigy, Music for the Jilted Generation. Sort of previous times I discovered Outer Space, Prodigy Experience, which is before this, and that obviously led the way. And then when this came out, they sort of changed their image in some ways, but not an awful lot. I think it was when they did Fat of the Land when they really extremely changed. But Their Law, Voodoo People, Poison, No Good Start the Dance, I think they're probably the main tracks off there. My favourite, I don't know, I don't think I could choose between Voodoo People, Poison or No Good Start the Dance. Most probably between Voodoo People and Poison, but I don't think I could choose between them. Two good songs. Another album that I absolutely loved. I know some people give this band a lot of shit because it's maybe more commercialised than, you know, people that have a certain idea of what a genre is, and then absolutely hate something if it's a sellout, and you must probably see what I mean. It's like Green Day, Dookie. This is a bootleg, I think, on colour vinyl, but I suppose this was my introduction really to punk. And most people might spit at me for that, you know. I had grown up in the UK where punk was very big, and obviously I'm aware of all the things now, but at this point I wasn't really, and I was learning off people, and the people I had in my friends, you know, their music diversity wasn't fantastic, so this is what I had. You know what I mean? Someone will look at these and think, well, they're not punk, they're just a pop train, they sold out. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think Welcome to Paradise and Basket Case, I think fantastic songs. Um, listen to this album most probably as much as Definitely Maybe and things like that. But it's each to their own in the BC. People listen to what they want to. So another big album, '94. My opinion was when this was done. Nirvana, Unplugged in New York, and this was done so not long before I think the unfortunate demise of Mr. Kurt Cobain. But it shows you what they could do, and the performance in itself was fantastic. I can remember seeing a lot of this on MTV, so real MTV, music TV, music generation in my years of growing up. So we did have a lot of MTVs and Nirvanas and playing unplugged and things like that. It was most probably quite a height of music videos before MTV turned into a TV channel of people hurting themselves and people showing their houses off and reality shows and things like that and pool parties. It was actually about music videos. Two other albums I most probably do quite good in terms of Oasis. Obviously I mentioned Britpop, things like that before. Blur's Part Life was out in '94. Things like Girls and Boys, End of a Century, Part Life, Until the End are on here. These in an album was very good, and it was most probably the start of the whole Blur Oasis thing. Oasis not very politically correct, and they'll say what they want about anyone. And in nowadays, you most probably won't get that kind of, not confrontation, but you know what I mean, sort of standoffish about the different music. But you did it. And another huge album for the year, Jeff Buckley's Grace. Fantastic album, another guy who died way before his time. Just like his dad, I suppose. I've had so many copies of this album. I think a single CD, I've got this. I've had a couple of vinyl copies that I had my previous collection. The one that sells it for me is obviously You've Got Grace, but his version of Hallelujah is fantastic. So can't say much more on that really. Sorry. Just have a bit of a list of everything that's on here. So Jeff Buckley, Oasis, Definitely Maybe, Weezer came onto the scene with Weezer's big album, Buddy Holly on it. Portishead, Dummy, fantastic album. Soundgarden, Super Unknown was my first introduction to Soundgarden. Black Hole Sun, what a song. The video again was sort of creepy, but real eye opener. Pearl Jam, Vitality, and they did Black Circle, you listen to a live and things like that, and then you go to Vitality. It was very much what I describe it as thrash. It was very fast. Live, Throwing Copper, Hole, obviously, Live Through This, which was Kurt Cobain's love interest. Pink Floyd had Division Bell out. Offspring, Smash. Again, was a massive album that my sort of college, higher education ties. Beastie Boys and Communication, it's an amazing album. Um, I think I don't know what it was about the album. You know, you listen to it and it's a quiet taste, but um, Sabotage is an absolutely fantastic track as far as I'm concerned. Might not be to a lot of people's taste, but it was amazing. Beck, Mellow Gold. I remember when I was younger on a search at different music shops to try and find a shop that sold Beck's album Mellow Gold. Nowhere. It's again, I think when Loser came out and you could see it on MTV, wasn't available anywhere, and no one could seem to tell me why. I thought it was this mystical portal of music from another country that I would never ever get. Massive Attack, Protection, Cranberries, No Need to Argue, and REM, Monster. Again, my most favourite REM album, which I do have on vinyl there somewhere. I just, for whatever reason, forgot to get it out. Anyway, Dylan, congratulations on subs. You know, if you keep it up, you'll have a crick in your neck. You just, you know, and your big power fringe, and I would imagine now your subscribers would have soared. You know, you'll be on cloud nine, and I hope you get a lot of responses to your contest. I do believe it does close on the 26th, so anybody who's watching who doesn't know about Dylan, please, you know, help him out. You know, check out his channel and see if you can do a video response. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Cheers, VC. Cheers, Dylan.